up, everyone? What's up? We're doing a video on how to remove the radiator on a 2009 Nissan Altima. This is the 4th gen. Not sure what years it goes by, but we already got the bumper off. Got the foam piece that goes off right here in the front. We're supposed to take this off, according to a guy who did it on the Maxima on YouTube. Not too many of these videos out, that's why we're making this one. So far, my friend took off, he broke off the tabs that go on the radiator right here. Since we got the new one, it should come with it, so we're gonna try to put it on afterwards. Just make it as easy as possible to take off at first. I think we're gonna have to take this off. The guy on the Maxima said that all this comes off, but it's all one piece. It bolts on at the bottom too. These two bolts, like it's all one piece. These two bolts, this bolt, and I think this bolt, I'll hold it all together. It's one piece from top to bottom. So if we were to do that, we might have to take everything, including the radiator, out with it. So we're gonna try to just take this off to get it out of the way, and then we already kind of loosened it. So the hose is for the condenser right here, and there's nothing on this side. So this swings open like that, and we're gonna try to slide the radiator out this way. So we gotta take this out of the way as well, the bull bar, and then kind of slide it out this way, hopefully. So we'll see how it goes. We got the two CVT hoses that are right here on the side. We got them off, and this is one of them, and the second one we zip tied over there. Where is that shit? Oh, right there. You see that one right there? That's the second one on the bottom. This one on top is the first, and we swung them out this way. The first one on the bottom is zip tied. This one is just on the top like that. It did leak a little from the radiator on the bottom, but not too much, to the point where we think we need to fill it some, the transmission with some more fluid. Right now he's getting to this the top radiator hose so we can take it off. So what it is this is the condenser, and it swings this way. So this is the radiator, and we're gonna try to take it out from the driver's side. We're gonna try to slide it out. There's the drain plug on the bottom, so we're gonna kind of lift it a little to clear that. The guy in the video said that to take off the bottom piece for more clearance, so we might have to do that. But we also took off the hinge, and this clip, it clips off right there, and this comes off. I took off a spring, and then this comes off semi-easy. Off the battery tray, we're gonna take this tray off for more clearance, but we're able to get to the bottom CVT hose by sticking my hand in this hole and coming around this way to get to the bottom. We used the vice grip wrench, and we applied pressure on the clamp and pulled it out. It wasn't too hard. So it worked. Radiator's out. Like I said, you swing this way. Be careful with the hoses. You don't want to pinch them like the guy in the Maxima video said. And we took off this hose. My friend did it. I tried doing it. It was a bitch because it's hard to get a wrench or clamps in there to get the clamp. How'd you do it, James?
I don't know.
There you go. You just got to keep trying.
I don't do a video, man.
So
No video.
my bad, man. So there's a couple of notches on the bottom. You kind of got to lift it. It's a tight fit, so try not to break anything. And radiator slid out through this way. So the fan didn't have to come off at all.
Can you scoot it over this way?
Yeah. We're putting the clips from we're putting the condenser on the clips from the radiator. They slide on. So this is the condenser bracket, and it slides into this clip. Same on the bottom, slide it in, and then on this side, we still have to do it. This slides in, and same on top. Alright, so now we're putting back the transmission hoses. Kind of only one way that it's supposed to go. You just gotta follow the paths of both, and you'll see which one goes where. You don't want them pinching, so if it pinches, you got the one on the wrong side. So let me just follow this one real quick. That's the other one. Alright, I see it. Alright, so there's a, if you see them from the bottom, there's a left one and the right one. The left one's on top and the bottom one's on the right one. The path goes to the bottom of the transmission. So the one that goes to the top, the one on top goes to the top part of the radiator, and the one that goes on the bottom, which is the right side, the one that's to the furthest to the right, goes to the bottom. And then for the latch, it's 3 bolts, 1, 2, and 3. And in there, it's a cable. So there's a cable that releases it. From the cable to disconnect it, I used a flathead screwdriver, kind of put it on the bottom and spinned it, and the clip came off from this side up. And then the spring, the latch, the end piece of it, there's a spring that connects to it, so you can push it, but it's hard. So what you do is you take off the spring from the left side. It's pretty easy to take off. You just take it off, it loosens it, takes off the pressure, and you just push it all the way to the right. And then you grab the notch, you bring it up towards the right, and then you pinch the wire down, and it'll come off the hook. And then from there you could take this whole piece off, because this piece right here, we're afraid was going to get in the way of the radiator. Maybe you could do it without taking this off, but we took it off because we needed to lift it and take it out that way. So again, you don't have to take off the fan, you don't have to take off this bracket. So what you do is the condenser, you swing it this way and then kind of pull it back. Be careful with these cables, you don't want to mess with them. Don't pinch, break, or anything like that. It's a two-man job, because one has to hold the condenser while the other person guides and takes the radiator out. So I wouldn't do it by myself, but it doesn't take two knowledgeable people. Maybe you could get a little brother, just tell him to hold this back, don't move it too much. You know, someone with some automotive knowledge of course would be best, but I know that's not always possible. So you just pull it a little to the back and hold it there, and then the radiator comes out.
Alright, so it is possible on a 2009 4th gen Altima 4-cylinder, I think even the 6, I'm not sure, but even maybe even the 6, to take out the radiator without releasing the pressure on the Freon, to taking out the Freon and having to take out the condenser. We did it, it wasn't that bad. We turned on the AC afterwards, it worked. So just a couple of side notes: when you swing the condenser towards you, don't do it like a door and just like forcefully, just let it as much as it lets you. You don't want to break those hoses, you don't want to mess up the condenser, because then you have to buy a bunch of other stuff, and that defeats the purpose of this tutorial or doing this job. So don't break the condenser, don't break the hoses. You don't have to take off the fan, you don't have to take off the radiator bracket. You have to take off the bumper, the bull bar, the latch, and the radiator hoses and the clamps are the hardest part. So once you get them off, go to Pep Boys, go somewhere, get the clamps that have that you use a flathead screwdriver to tighten. It was a tight fit, so we didn't use the flathead. We used a ratchet and socket to turn the clamps. You don't want to tighten them too hard, because it's plastic. Ours radiator was plastic. We went with the cheapest option. It was about $141 for the radiator and coolant and the hoses. So you don't want to tighten the clamps too much. or it might break the plastic pieces on the radiator. So just, you know, tighten it to where the clamp doesn't move, and maybe just a bit more, give some pressure so you don't get any leaks. But that's really the hardest part. And then the most delicate part is finessing the radiator from the car after you took everything off. Yeah, so don't pull back the condenser too much. Don't force it. And it does give you enough room to not, you don't want to forcibly wiggle the radiator out of there. You just kind of want to really finesse it. You got to finesse the thing out. You got to use some love. You don't want to, like, this isn't like a just go at it with the hammer kind of thing. You want to take your time. It's a two-person job. You want one person holding the condenser and one person pulling out the radiator. But yeah, I think that's it. If anything else comes to mind, I'll let you know. By no means am I saying that if you do this, you won't break anything. So if you're gonna try it, do it at your own risk. It can be done, but you gotta be careful. The dealer wants $1,200 for this job. Local independent shops wanted, I think I got a quote for like $300. So, and that's just labor. So it's a really expensive job that can be done. I know most radiators on older cars are really simple. This one took a little bit more work. The labor is quoted at 2 hours at a mechanic, 2.5 hours. It took like I said, the hardest part is the clamps. So just take your time, finesse it out. It can be done. Sorry for the video. I know it's crap. Just you know, I knew there wasn't anything out there detailing how to take it out. So I just wanted to make something real quick for you if you're trying to do it yourself. So take your time. Can be done. 4-cylinder 2009 Altima.